This story came to me via a dear man who lives in Germany, and whom I met quite by chance. It was in the spring of 1842, while on a visit to friends near Heidelberg. We'd stopped for refreshment at a quaint old mill, when a sudden downpour forced us to take shelter in the kitchen of the mill house. The old miller ushered us all in, and there was such a press of people, I was gradually forced to retreat to the back of the room, where my eye was caught by a picture hanging in the very darkest corner. The picture was of a young girl of quite breathtaking beauty. When the opportunity arose, I inquired of the miller who the girl was, and he told me her name was Anna Shearer, an ancestor of his, who, because of what happened to her, lost the lovely complexion apparent in the picture to such an extent she became known as the Grey Woman. She had apparently lived in some state of lifelong terror. This was so intriguing that I asked to know more, and the kindly man unearthed a manuscript written by the Grey Woman herself. It is, I think you will agree, an amazing story, and one which I feel is best left to Anna Shearer herself to tell, in the words she wrote to her daughter over 100 years ago.
My name is Anna Shearer, as you well know, my darling. But on this, the eve of your wedding, I must tell you that Shearer is not your name, as you have long believed. To begin at the beginning. My early childhood was extremely happy, spent beside the mill stream in Heidelberg with my beloved father. But that time ended, quite unexpectedly, when I went to stay with an old school friend and her mother in Paris. These friends moved in the highest circles, and it was at one of the many soirees we attended that I first met Monsieur de la Tourelle, who was your father. He was very charming, paid me compliments, sent me expensive gifts. And before I was fully aware of the implications in accepting them, I was betrothed. Everyone expected me to be extremely happy. It seemed he was a wealthy nobleman and I had made a great conquest. But the reality was, I was in a kind of despair. I did not wish to be married, and I didn't know how to extract myself. So, we were married, and I left Heidelberg and my dear old father for a new life. The journey to my husband's chateau, Les Rochers, took over a week, for the roads were very bad.
Why do you weep, Anna?
Because it is so far, and I miss my father.
Oh, yes.
So it was in no cheerful frame of mind that we approached Les Rochers. And I thought that perhaps it was because I was so unhappy that the place looked so dreary. New rooms had been added to the side, and the rubbish from the work had not yet been cleared away. It was only later I realized it was a kind of prison. I was restricted to the new annex on the orders of my husband, and his servants saw that his instructions were followed to the letter. But I prevailed in one thing, and that was my request for a companion.
I've written to my milliner in Paris to look out for a suitable woman to be your maid. And she has written back to say she has found a Norman woman by the name of Amante, who should do. She'll be arriving in a few days, so now, perhaps, you'll be a little more cheerful.
And indeed I was. Amante feared no one, and with all her shrewdness to others, she had quite tender ways with me. All the more so at this time because she knew what I had not yet ventured to tell Monsieur de la Tourelle, that by and by I might become a mother.
What news, madame? And I will be able to teach your child all the tunes that I keep in my head from my childhood.
I remember it was one evening during one of my husband's many absences, that I began to talk about my father and the mill, and I remember telling her how I so seldom heard from him and how I missed him so much. Presently Amante went to fetch our supper, and on her return entered with a broad smile upon her face.
I have a little news that will please Madame.
Oh, what? What is it, Amante?
There was a bundle of letters newly arrived on the table in the kitchen, and I untied the string binding them and just caught sight of one from Germany.
Oh, give it to me quickly.
No, I can't. I haven't got it. One of the servants, Jacques it was, came in just as I'd untied them and swore at me for having disarranged them.
But didn't you say there was one there for me?
I did. But he only swore the more, saying it was no business of mine, and that he had the strictest orders always to take all the letters that arrived during his master's absence into his private study.
Oh, but couldn't you have got just that one letter from him?
Madame, it was more than my life was worth. Didn't you hear how Jacques stabbed the stable boy last month for some joke he happened to make? They're a fierce bunch, these servants.
Oh, but Amante, suppose my father is ill. Or dying. He might be writing to say, come immediately.
Oh, I may well have been mistaken, Madame. I don't read writing well. Suppose there is no letter from Germany after all.
And though she tried many different arguments...
It could be from anyone. I expect Monsieur has contacts in Germany himself. It could be for him.
I would not be comforted, but wrung my hands with impatience and refused to eat the food that now had no appeal for me.
Oh, you are as stubborn as your husband. All right. Listen. If you promise to eat something, I will see if we can't go to the Monsieur's room after the servants have gone to bed and look for the letter. What about that?
Oh, yes.
And so it was agreed. Long after I thought the house was quiet, Amante, in her caution, made me wait. And it was past 11 before we set out with cat-like steps along the gallery that joined my new rooms with the old chateau to steal my own letter.
It's locked.
The key's there, look. Quick, turn it quickly.
As Amante opened the door, I pushed past her in my eagerness and saw the letters lying on the table, their white oblongs catching the light in an instant. In that moment, I also took in the room. It was in the older part of the castle, and hence the walls were 8 or 9 feet thick. I remember thinking that no one would be able to hear a sound when outside, and how secret it must be. The candle which Amante held had caught in some draught and had gone out, and we were plunged into total darkness.
Let's just collect all the letters as best we can and take them back to your room. And then I'll bring the rest back when you've found yours.
No, we might knock something over. You go back and relight the candle. You know where the flint box is in my room?
Yes.
I'll stay here. Go on.
All right.
No, wait. What? Lock the door after me, in case anyone should pass and check it. And be quick.
Yes.
I remained alone. I stood with my face towards the window, which appeared only like an oblong of paler black in the shadowy room. I often relive that moment in my dreams, waiting in that room of horror, in the darkness. Amante could hardly have been gone a moment before I heard the sounds of the window being quietly opened. In mortal terror, I did the first thing that came into my head. I sank down softly and crept under the table, which was covered by a large cloth with a heavy fringe.
Lift it up over the sill. My God, it's a weight, this one. Higher. Now, through. I've got it. Gently. That's it. Phew. That was a near one.
Too close for my liking. That's for all the trouble you caused us.
And that's one from me.
All right. Save your strength.
I don't know why or where I got the courage to do it, but while I crouched there beneath the table, Something made me reach out my hand, just a little, to feel what it was that lay spurned. And I touched the ice-cold hand of a corpse.
Did you like my little joke, Lefebvre?
What, to that fool we met on the road just now?
Yes.
Thank God you strapped the seigneur here in front of you on the horse.
Your companion looks most unwell. Do you need assistance?
Don't concern yourself. He's merely drunk.
Drunk? He looks
Dead to the world. Quite right. That'll teach him. Good night to you, my man.
No, not bad. No, not bad. Though you didn't quite capture my noble style.
My brain swam, so that I could barely understand the meaning of what they said. But I recognized the voice and scornful laughter of my husband, who stood so close that I could have touched his feet.
Shh. What is it?
Quiet. Amante!
Forgive me, sir. I didn't see you there in the dark.
May I ask what brings you here into my private room?
I came to look for a letter which I believe has arrived from Madame from Germany.
Damn you! I'll have no one prying into my rooms, least of all you. Your last office will be to tell Madame she'll have her letters, if there are any, when I choose to give them to her. Now, give me that candle. Get out!
If I had any thought of escape, it was gone now. I only hoped that whatever was to befall me might soon be over, for the tension of my nerves was growing more than I could bear.
Why didn't you grab her while you had the chance? You could have tied her up, gagged her.
Why didn't you kill her and have done? She might have seen him. May he rest in hell.
She couldn't have. It was pitch black. Besides, I was standing right in front of her.
Well, what's she going to say to your wife, finding you in here in the dark?
I'll think of something. Look, she got such a fright, 10 to 1. She'll be thankful to have got off so lightly and won't even wonder about it.
But perhaps your wife will. She's a quiet bitch. Too reserved for my liking. You never know what she's thinking.
Why you had to go and get married in the first place. Dressing yourself up in all that finery and scenting yourself with perfume like a dandy.
I could have got you 20 girls prettier than her, and with far more spirit in them.
Shut it! She suits me, and that's an end to it.
But supposing she knows?
Do you imagine if I thought that, she would live another minute? Remember Victorine?
But this one's different. We knew Victorine. You could read her, but this one...
By God, feel this dagger, Henri. Let her have one tiny suspicion that I'm not who she thinks I am, and this good steel will find its way to her very heart.
You have often asked me the reason for that mark on my hand, my daughter. It was because at that moment, hearing what I did, I bit out a piece of my own flesh to save myself from screaming out loud.
Someday, she'll get wind of us, and then she'll be off, I just know it. And that'll be the end of it all, the end of the chauffeurs.
Ah, she goes, then I'll follow. So don't cry before you're hurt. Now, let's get to work.
Whoa, look at this ring! Have you ever seen a diamond that big?
Here's his watch. Solid gold.
Lots of papers in his pockets. Hello, what's this? My darling husband.
Oh, a love letter from his beloved wife.
I've missed you so badly since you've been away. And our sweet baby has begun to say even more words. Where's Dada? He said only yesterday. And I told him, Maurice, your Dada will be with us soon. Just one more day, and then he will be home.
Oh, no, he won't.
You know what this means.
What?
He's expected back today, and so when he's not, they'll be looking. We must get rid of the body quickly tonight.
Tonight? But we've had nothing to eat, and I haven't slept since...
Tonight! Leave him here. We'll go and eat now, this minute, and then come back and start digging. Near the wall behind the kitchen will be best. Now, come on!
Now was my time, if ever. And yet I couldn't move. It was the sensation of that dead man's close presence. I almost fancy still. I heard the arm nearest to me move, lift itself up, as if once more imploring. The sound of my own strange voice broke the spell. I drew myself to the side of the table farthest from the corpse, and softly raised myself up, and stood sick and trembling, holding onto the table, too dizzy to know what to do next.
Madame! Amante!
Oh! Quickly, they've gone downstairs. Oh, come.
I fell upon her neck, grasping her tight till my hands ached with the tension of their hold. Yet she never uttered a word. Only she took me up in her vigorous arms and bore me to my room and laid me on my bed. I know no more, for as soon as I was placed there, I lost consciousness. When I came back to myself...
Drink this, madame, and let's be gone. All is ready. There. I've put out some of my old clothes. See? You must put them on. I've wrapped up the remains of our supper. We can take that with us. Come on. You must get up.
I never asked her, then or afterwards, how much she knew. But I suppose she must have been in the dressing room adjoining the study, and heard all.
Shh. Listen.
She went to the door and listened, and then to the window and looked anxiously out.
It's clear. Come on, quickly.
Clinging to her, I went unquestioning. We went down many stairs, and she guided me along the basement passages, until we came to a little open door through which the air blew chill and cold. The door led into a kind of cellar. We groped our way across to a small window that, instead of being glazed, was only fenced with iron bars, two of which were loose, as Amante evidently knew. And then we were out in the open air. Free.
Come now. Wait.
Deeper than that.
And wider. Remember his girth.
Down here. Follow me.
She turned down towards the high road. I didn't know the path. We stumbled again and again, and I was much bruised, so doubtless was she, but bodily pain did me good. At last we were on the plainer path of the high road.
Which way did you come when he brought you here first?
That way.
Then we'll go in the opposite direction. Come on.
We struck up the mountainside, scrambling far up before we even dared to stop and rest.
I locked the door between your bedroom and the gallery, and I brought the key away with us. Look, but I think now is the time to lose it.
My husband will follow.
But not yet. He'll have been too busy this night to think much about you. He'll suppose you're still asleep. I'll be the first to be missed by the other servants. But they'll only now be discovering our loss.
Oh, let's go on. Don't let's wait here.
You must rest, madame.
No, come on.
We must find some hiding place.
But not here. Come on.
And Amante was forced to follow me. We proceeded down the mountain as dawn began to break, and we saw we were in a narrow valley, with a swift-moving stream at the bottom. A mill wheel was lashing up the water close at hand, though out of sight. Keeping under cover of every sheltering bush, we worked our way down past the mill, down to a one-arched bridge.
This will do.
We crept under the space beneath the bridge and crouched in the deep, damp shadow. Amante sat a little above me and made me lay my head on her lap. Then she fed me, and took some food herself. And opening out her great dark cloak, she covered up every light-coloured speck about us. And thus we sat, shivering. Towards dusk, the rain that had fallen all day long got heavier, and the stream began to swell into a torrent, rushing over the stones with a perpetual and dizzying noise. Then darkness fell, and the time to move was upon us.
Oh, we must pass this night in shelter somehow.
I thought that surely the end must be death in some shape, and I only hoped that to death might not be added the terror of the cruelty of men.
We'll try the mill. Come on.
Who is it?
We're just two women seeking shelter.
There's no man with you.
No, we're on our own.
Now, my master, the miller, told me on no account to let any man into the place while he was away, but since you're only two women, you can't say I disobeyed him.
Oh, we're most grateful to you.
Oh, it's a shame to let a dog be out on such a night as this. Now, come on, near the stove, and you take off your wetsuits.
When do you expect your master back?
Oh, no, I don't know. He's gone out helping to look for the landlord. Not the Seigneur de Poissy's gone missing, and they think he might have met with some accident. Oh dear. Is she not well?
She's just very tired. Oh, if we could be allowed to rest here.
But if my master should return and find you here, then
Is there nowhere we could stay that would be out of the way? And if you don't tell anyone else we're here, your master need never know.
Oh. Wait a moment. I've an idea. Come.
She bade us mount by a ladder to a kind of loft. It had no wall or railing to keep us from falling over the edge and into the kitchen. But there was bedding piled up, and the winter store of apples and nuts and bundles of old clothes. In short, a comfortable enough place for two travellers who had spent the day beneath a damp and cold bridge. No sooner were we up there than the old woman dragged the ladder away.
Now you can do no mischief, and you be warm enough up there. Good night.
Indeed, it was lovely and warm, and we thankfully laid ourselves down in our dried clothes on a pile of bedding and tried to sleep. But sleep did not come, and I was aware, from her breathing, that Amante was equally awake.
Come on, where are you, you old fool?
She's died in the night.
Oh, you're back, master. I was just going...
You were asleep, you lying bitch, so don't try to get out of it.
No, I was waiting up for you, master. I may have dozed off.
Get out of my sight, go on. And you want another one.
Is there anything to eat here at all?
Yeah, there'll be something in the pot, Monsieur Lefebvre, over the fire.
It's Lefebvre.
I feel like I've been on a wild goose chase all day. How can a man disappear into thin air? And a man like the Seigneur, too. It's not as though they don't know what he looks like round here.
As you say, into thin air. Quite amazing.
It was lucky I met up with you. I was going to look more in the direction of Les Rochers. The castle belonging to your master, I believe, Monsieur de la Tourelle.
Correct. But the Seigneur would not have been going that way. I know for a fact that the Seigneur went hunting yesterday in quite the opposite direction.
It was a shame we had no luck. Did Monsieur de la Tourelle know the Seigneur at all?
Oh yes, they were great friends. Monsieur de la Tourelle was himself out all day looking for the Seigneur. So, it's just you and your housekeeper that live here, is it?
Yes, just the two of us.
It's an out-of-the-way place, for sure. Do you get many callers?
No, not many. And I've told old Sarah not to let anyone in while I'm away.
Very wise. Well, I must take my leave and return. Thank you for the food, and rest well.
The same to you, Lefebvre.
And the unsuspicious miller, having bolted the door, stumbled off to his bed. The next morning, when the old woman did not rise as usual to prepare his breakfast and light the stove, the miller went to look for her, and found her in bed, lifeless. Whether from the effects of her master's blows the night before, or natural causes, who could say? But it gave us the opportunity of staying in our hiding place for another day or two, with no one knowing we were there, until the first hue and cry of the search had died down. And so we did. And Amante, hunting among the bundles of old clothes, found a man's suit that fitted her. She then cut her hair short, and on the second day she dyed my fair hair with the decaying shells of the stored-up walnuts. That night, when the miller was sound asleep in his bed, we let ourselves down by means of a rope we had found, and we left, leaving no outward sign that we had ever been there.
This place will do. It's lonely enough. Wait here, madame.
We had been wandering for near on 3 weeks, sleeping beneath bushes during the day, and proceeding every night a little nearer towards Germany. Our plan was to reach Heidelberg, my father's house, and safety.
Have you any odd jobs of work for a travelling tailor and his wife, monsieur, in return for a night's lodging and food?
See what I can find you.
Amante had adopted this plan once or twice before, and with good success. For her father had been a tailor in Rouen, and as a girl she had often helped him with his work. The early November afternoon was closing into evening as we sat down in the blacksmith's house, Amante cross-legged on the kitchen table near the window, whistling softly all the while, as was the custom of the trade when at work. And I sat close behind her, in her shadow, sewing at another part of the same garment.
Good evening to you, monsieur.
Good evening to you, sir.
Suddenly Amante turned and said one word.
Courage.
What?
It's him.
Here, good wife. A cup of wine and something to eat for this gentleman.
Of course, of course.
What can I get you, monsieur?
Anything, madame, that I can eat in my hand while my horse is being shod. I'm in haste and must get on to Forbach tonight.
There you are, monsieur.
Ah, many thanks.
I felt sick for an instant, and then braced myself to go through I knew not what. Thankfully, we sat in a shadowy corner, and my husband gave only a cursory glance around the room, taking us in with about the same degree of interest as he did the inanimate furniture.
Very good, very good. But I'm in haste, dear woman. Go tell your husband I will pay him double if he finishes soon.
Oh, very good, monsieur.
I know that tune from somewhere.
Your horse will be ready in one moment, monsieur. Only one moment. There was a nail out of the right hoof as well, which my husband is replacing. It would delay monsieur again if that shoe also came off.
Madame is right, but if Madame knew my reasons, she would pardon my impatience. I am pursuing a wife on whom I lavished all my love, but who has abused my confidence and fled from my house, doubtless to some paramour, carrying off with her all the jewels and money on which she could lay her hands. It is possible Madame may have heard or seen something of her. And she was accompanied in her flight by a base, profligate woman from Paris, who I, unhappy man, had myself engaged as my wife's waiting maid, little dreaming what corruption I was bringing into my house.
Is it possible? No, monsieur. I have seen no one that fits that description.
No. Oh, still, I'm on their track. They'll not escape me.
but every minute is a minute of misery to me till I meet my wife. Madame has sympathy, has she not?
Oh, indeed I have, monsieur.
I must see how your husband is faring. Excuse me.
Don't move a muscle. Just go on as you are. In a few minutes he'll be gone and it will be over.
It was a necessary caution, for I was on the point of giving way and throwing myself weakly upon her neck. We carried on sewing in the same positions, and it was well we did so, for almost directly he came back for his whip, which he had laid down and forgotten.
Ah, here it is.
And again I felt one of those sharp, quick, scanning glances sent all around the room and taking in everything.
Your horse is ready, monsieur.
Ah, excellent. So, good day to you, madame.
Good day, and good luck, monsieur. Well, did you ever hear the like? I hope he catches up with her and gives her the punishment she deserves. Oh, the world. And they say there's that band of robbers going round in the area. Have you heard of them? The chauffeurs. That said they torture their victims by roasting their feet to make them tell where they've hidden their gold. And they kill anyone who sees them, so that no one knows who belongs to the band. And their leader is supposed to be the most wicked of all.
Oh, madame, if you will forgive us, we've had a very long day and would like to seek our bed. We'll get up early and finish this work tomorrow.
Which we did, and then made an early start, heading away in any direction but towards Forbach. The next night, we came to a small town with a good large inn in the very centre of the main street. We had begun to feel as if there were more safety in towns than in the loneliness of the country. We had parted with a ring of mine to a travelling jeweller, and so we had a little money and resolved to stay at this inn and gather such information as we could. While we were eating our supper in the darkest corner of the dining room, a coach arrived outside and disgorged its passengers, one of whom was a fair-haired young lady and her French maid.
Look, her hair is exactly the same colour as yours. It used to be.
Yes. But make haste, the room is filling up. Let's be off to our room. We had paid for a small bedroom over the stable, and we made our hurried way there now to avoid any possibility of recognition. We were tired and quickly fell asleep, but I was awakened soon after by a sound in the stable below.
And rub her down well. I've had a long ride and she's very hot.
Amante, wake up.
What?
Shh. He's there, down below.
I'll be back later to check her. So see you do as I've said.
Oh, he's discovered us. He knows where we are. We must go.
But let's think. If we leave now, how far will we get on foot?
We might be able to get away without anyone noticing.
But think. We haven't paid the bill yet. That will draw attention to us. And we can't be sure that he knows we're here. It might just be a coincidence.
Then what should we do?
I say we stay here for the night. Stay quiet. And we'll judge the best time to leave tomorrow.
And so we lay down, shivering with fear, listening to every sound, as if we might meet our death at any moment. In the dead of the night, just at the profound stillness preceding the turn into another day, we heard something below in the yard.
Quietly now. There's a good girl.
That was him. He's gone.
We lay, exhausted but relieved. And this time we fell sound asleep and slept late into the morning, until we were awakened by a loud commotion below.
What are we going to do, monsieur?
I don't know. As I say, this lady came last night by the coach with her maid. Doubtless a great lady, for she must have a private sitting room.
She was Madame the Baroness de Rodger.
And was difficult to please in the matter of supper and the sleeping room. She went to bed early, and her maid left her.
I begged to be allowed to sleep in her room, as we were in a strange inn, of the character of which we knew nothing. But she wouldn't let me. My mistress was such a great lady.
And this morning we thought Madame was still slumbering. But when 9, 10 and near 11 o'clock came, I bade her maid use my pass key and enter her room.
The door was not locked, only closed. And here she was found. Dead, is she not, monsieur? With her face down on her pillow, and her beautiful hair all scattered wild. She never would let me tie it up, saying it made her head ache. Such hair!
And then she called me, and I discovered the lady all bathed and stained with blood, and a dagger through her heart with this paper attached. Look, it says, "Number 1, thus the chauffeurs take revenge." Who are the chauffeurs? Does anyone know?
But no one answered, and a deathly hush spread over the crowd. None knew whether some of the band might even then be listening, and noting down fresh objects for vengeance. For the first time I realized the full extent of the terror they inspired. Neither Amante nor I, knowing far more of the actual guilt of the man who had killed the Baroness, dared breathe a word. We were broken down with the terrible knowledge that we, above all, were doomed victims, and that that knife had drained the blood from that poor woman because she had been mistaken for me. We left and continued on our course, making our way towards Frankfurt. We still held to our plan of going to my father's house in Heidelberg, far away from the terrible land of France. But it happened that we met by chance a young journeyman from Heidelberg itself, whom I vaguely knew, but who failed to recognize me. I asked him, as casually as I could manage, how the old miller was, and another blow came to my heart as he told me the old miller was dead. He went on that a grand French gentleman had appeared at the mill recently looking for his wife, the old miller's daughter, who had apparently behaved abominably. When the journeyman had departed on his way, Amante took me gently in her arms.
We must change our plans. But we still have each other, and that is a great comfort, is it not?
Oh, yes.
We will go on to Frankfurt and lose ourselves for a time at least in that great town. We will still be husband and wife. We will take a small lodging, and you shall housekeep and live indoors. And I will continue my father's trade and seek work at the tailors' shops.
And we did. We found 2 furnished rooms in a back street in Frankfurt. There was no light in the main room. A dingy lamp swung perpetually from the ceiling. The bedroom was more cheerful, but very small. At length my child was born. It was a girl, as I had prayed for. I was able to sun myself and my baby at the garret window in the roof. It was all the air I dared to take. And one day, Amante returned from seeking work with some good news.
I met a journeyman who works for a wealthy family on the other side of Frankfurt, and he said his master was looking for a tailor to make some clothes for his new son, and I have been appointed to the work.
Oh, Amante!
And the pay is very good.
That is such good news. Isn't it, sweeting?
But I have another thing to tell you that is not so good.
Go on. Oh, I'm strong enough now.
Placards have been put up all over the town, offering a heavy reward on the part of the Baron de Rodger for information about the murder of his wife. And it gives the name of the inn and the date on which she was murdered. You see the danger? If any member of the chauffeurs should see it, they will realize that it was not you they killed and will come looking again. Oh. And while I was reading this placard, I turned and saw someone staring at me.
Oh, who was it?
It was the man we sold your ring to. You remember? He must have realised we were not poor travelling tailors having that ring. I think he followed me for some of the way afterwards, though I managed to lose him eventually.
And she spoke, my poor, my dear, very faithful Amante, like one possessed that night, talking continually of the future. And she kissed you. Yes, you, my daughter. She kissed you, my sweet baby, my blessed little comforter, as if she could never leave off. And she left the next morning as usual. And in the evening they found her. She had been stabbed and was dead.
At this point, the manuscript becomes very difficult to read. But from what I can make out, the knife that killed Amante again bore the fateful message from the chauffeurs. But this time the number was underlined, number 1, to show that the assassin was aware of his mistake before.
I was number 2, and I knew it was only a matter of time before they found me, as they had found Amante.
The writer, in reliving her history so closely, obviously became hysterical, and the sense of what she writes is sometimes beyond deciphering.
The angels had sent you, my sweet little saviour. But the pounding of my heart, oh, the pain!
It was clear that without her child, she would not have lasted long. It seems that someone, probably the landlord of the rooms, became alarmed and called a doctor, and he tended her and brought her back to some kind of health.
He was a good man. He helped me, but they were looking for me. Every sound I heard, I thought it was them. The chauffeurs, they have discovered me at last. They are coming. Ah!
But in fact they did not find her, though she could never be convinced of this, even when some time later the good doctor brought news that the leader of the chauffeurs and 2 or 3 others, including Lefebvre, had been hunted down by the Baron de Rodger and executed for their crimes. But it brought no relief. She'd lived in terror for too long. And whenever she tried to go out into the daylight and lead a more normal life, her body would start trembling, and a long, pitiful scream would issue uncontrolled from her. So that it was a kindness to leave her, finally, in the shadows, inside her rooms, where her once yellow hair turned grey, and her complexion ashen-coloured. The good doctor eventually persuaded her to take his name and become his wife. So she became Anna Scherer, but was for ever after known as the Grey Woman.
The Grey Woman was written by Elizabeth Gaskell and dramatised by Sally Hedges. It starred Elizabeth Spriggs as Mrs. Gaskell, Stella Gonet as Anna, Adjoa Andoh as Amante, and Struan Rodger as Tourelle. Other parts were played by Duncan Law, Richard Avery, Mary Wimbush, Andrew Harrison and Graham Colclough. The producer was Nigel Bryant.